What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Franky N Davis Podcast. This is the podcast where, again, when Franky and I don't have guests, we can freely fart and not care about it.
That smells really good, Davis. What does that smell?
Why, thank you.
Is that
Enchiladas.
Roses enchiladas?
And it's the podcast where we get together, we talk about whatever we want. My name is Davis. With me, as always, Franky.
Hello. What's up, everyone out there?
Franky, what's going on? What's new with you?
I went snowboarding in Mammoth not too long ago.
Oh, nice.
It was really fun. It was actually my second time going up to Mammoth. And for me, I go snowboarding on a daily basis every year.
Okay.
Typically, and I've been going for about, I'd say, good 6 solid years. Maybe a little bit longer. I'm not too sure.
Oh, nice.
So, I'm pretty well experienced. And I went out with a bunch of buddies, some really close friends, and some friends brought, other close friends. So there was probably about 13 people up there. And
Oh, well, nice.
yeah, then we met up with another. It was funny because one of my friends, she's actually sponsored in snowboarding.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
So
so-
she must be pretty damn good then.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And so she was actually staying in the same complex where you could actually live in that complex or rent out the complex for just a weekend.
Okay.
And yeah, and then I kind of talked to her. I was like, dude, that's pretty crazy. How do you get paid as a sponsor and all that? And she's like, yeah, dude, all you have to do is just snowboard. You get paid X amount. And if you go on TV wear the logo, you get paid X amount. Or if you win like number 1 place in snowboarding.
So she competes
Yeah,
as well.
she actually competes. And you get paid X amount of money. And that's pretty interesting. I was like, man, let's go shredding. But she got pretty fucked up the night before from drinking and partying.
Oh, okay.
So she couldn't get up in time. So I was like, I was a little bit sad. But like I said, there were some people that I haven't met, but that was in the cabin. But it was actually another girl, and she was pretty damn good at snowboarding. So for me, when I like to go snowboarding, I like to kind of stick with, I guess, what you call like the A team, the faster group.
Okay.
I don't like to stick around in the slow group just because.
The Davis group.
Yeah. So I like to go in something more advanced, because if you stick in the slow group and you're more advanced, you're just like, oh man, this person's just gonna keep falling down and just getting I get tired of it. But I don't mind staying a couple runs with with the group sometimes, just to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this one part where it was kind of cool because I was laying in the cabin, everyone's eating and drinking, and I was just laying on the couch and just sitting back and relax. And I was just looking at just how peaceful and nice it was, and just saying, man, this feels really good. And just enjoying the moment, So,
Yeah, just being away from work and
yeah, I've been so busy with just like my full-time job, doing the podcast, and just everything is just. Sometimes I only get like a few hours for myself until I have to start working again, and it was a good trip overall. And
nice little mini vacation.
Yeah, so I was really excited. So
Dude, nice. So did you end up going like on some like crazy runs or courses, like those double black diamonds or whatever they're called?
Well, for me personally, I'm not a big fan of double black diamonds just because it's so steep, and you're gonna have to really, really carve back and forth. And for a snowboarder, it's really hard because it's one board. But if you're a skier, it's a lot easier.
Okay.
So I mean, I did take the gondola all the way to the top of the mountain, and then we just me and that other girl, I think her name was Gina, I forgot what it was, and my buddy Coy, we were all stuck in one group, and we just went down and went back up, went down. So we
Nice.
because in the gondola that takes you all the way to the top, but you could kind of straight down the mountain halfway, and then you take that ride back up to the mountain. So it was really fun. I got really excited because I kind of missed like a year or two on snowboarding. So when I got back into it, I was like, oh man, I need to go again.
Nice.
So definitely, I want to do another snowboarding trip, maybe in Big Bear or Mount High before season ends. So yeah, definitely, hell yeah, dude, go snowboarding.
Sweet.
But yeah, what about you, Davis?
Nothing too much, I guess. As the time of this recording, it's been, Chinese New Year has just passed, so happy Chinese New Year to everybody.
Yep. What is it? The sheep?
Yeah, sheep.
Yeah.
It's sheep this year.
Bah. Cut all your freaking fur, make into a coat.
Yeah, but this Chinese New Year's, I had dinner with my dad a bunch of times at home, and something that I thought was pretty interesting was usually we when we have dinner, we do this thing. I don't know what to call it in English, but we call it gong in Vietnamese.
Okay.
And essentially, it's like we put out a bunch of food and stuff, and like a bunch of bowls and chopsticks and things, like we're gonna have a party or like have guests over, and it's just to kind of commemorate, like, maybe people that have passed or whatever, and just show thanks for, being able to be as, well off as we are.
Yeah.
Not like we're like super well off, but, it could be much worse, and we're thankful for what we have, essentially.
Yeah.
And I was eating with my dad, and my dad's a vegetarian, so he made vegetarian food.
Okay.
So for like 3 days straight, I ate vegetarian food, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Wow,
actually.
your thing's 3 days?
He does it for 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a couple days leading up to it, and then the actual on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Then he'll do it one more time. So we had dinner like the last couple days together.
Yeah.
And while we were eating, he was just talking, and he's like, "Do you know why I put out like an extra set of plates and stuff?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking in my head, okay, yeah, it's probably for like maybe our ancestors or something. And he said to me, he's like, "Well, I believe that this area here, it was a burial ground before for like, I guess, Native Americans or something."
Oh,
right?
okay.
I was like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "Yeah, so the extra plates are for them. So basically, we don't have ghosts in the house." And when he said that to me, he had the most straight look on his face, right? He just looked me in the eye, and he says, "I'm doing this so we keep the ghosts away." And I just look at him and I go, "Okay, all right." And I thought about it, and I was like, I like the thought of ghosts, and I like the paranormal and stuff, but do I really believe in it? I don't know. I'd say kind of no, but when someone tells me a house is haunted, I get scared for some reason, even though I don't really believe it. But
I do too.
right? I don't know what it is, but
I get that same feeling. Like I'm watching a scary movie, then you end up just going to sleep in your bedroom, and then everything's all quiet, and you just hear this little creak or some kind of sound, and it's like, "Oh man, is that a ghost? No, it's not real. Is that a ghost? No, it's not real."
It's gotta be real. I just saw it. Yeah, but to my dad, it's 100% fact, dude. There's ghosts out there, and he's putting out extra bowls so that they're like, "Okay, we feel welcomed, and we don't bother you guys." And for what it is, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And he 100% believes it, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Well, for me, like this year, I didn't get to celebrate with my grandparents because I was at work, and they do it a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And New Year's kind of fell onto my work schedule. But I remember last year, it was funny because like we would do the same ceremony, right? We would put food on the table and give prayers to our ancestors and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, I remember they had a cup, right? And my grandpa had a jug of alcohol.
Yeah.
So he'll just keep pouring it, and then we do pray, and I think you do it like 3 times until the cup is full, and it's like, "Here you go, here's some alcohol." So you get pretty drunk in the afterlife and then enjoy it. So it's kind of cool.
That's how you do it. It's the equivalent to taking a 40 and pouring it onto a homie's grave. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into today's segment. I actually want to talk about Ross Ulbricht, Silk Road, the guy that created Silk Road. So pretty much, like I said, today's story is about Ross. And for you that don't really know about Ross, he was the brains behind Silk Road. Silk Road is about, the black market of selling drugs, underage porn, even, like hitmen. You can make like fake driver license. But like I said, I'll get a little bit more into that Silk Road website a little bit later into, our segment.
Can you get episodes of Franky N Davis Podcast on Silk Road?
Oh, I'm going to start posting it on there. We're going to have the underground black market on the PNC or PND PC or FNDPC. Sorry. I'm already choking on our website name. I don't know it. What the fuck?
Yeah, whatever. People figure it out. It's cool.
But yeah, so this guy, Ross, he's only freaking 29 years old, It's
Oh, wow.
pretty crazy. Yeah, he's a super young guy, but he's a really knowledgeable guy. He actually went to college, I think, for physics, economic, and material science and engineering.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Smart.
I mean, yeah, smart
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he dedicated about like 5 years of his life. But yeah. So I want to get a little bit to, I guess, like what physics is. You know, the physics is like the fundamental chemistry, mechanics, heat, light, radiation, sound, electricity, magnetism. You know, and the structure of atoms. You know,
Mhm.
so that's what physics is, and pretty much. And material science engineering, he actually, in the material science of engineering, he did his major more towards polymeric solar cells.
Okay.
So polymeric solar cells is when light converts into electricity.
So all the cells that we see around on people's roofs, and actually that
Yeah.
huge location on the way to Vegas. Have you seen that? I think it's one of the biggest like solar plants, like in either the United States or even the world, maybe.
I don't remember seeing the actual like flat plate
panels?
thing. Yeah, the panels. But I remember seeing some fans, or what do you call those electricity fan? I'm not sure. The
Yeah,
solar,
those windmills, right?
yeah, windmills.
But this is like there's panels, and there's a lot of them
Oh, is
actually.
there?
So like the next time you go, and obviously during the day, unless you have night vision goggles or something, but during the day, if you're heading up on the 15 North, heading
Okay.
towards Vegas, I forgot exactly where it's about, but I'd say it's closer to Vegas than here in California. So it's kind of near the end of the trip,
Yeah.
approaching Vegas.
Yeah.
On the left side, up 15 North,
Yeah.
you'll see just a ton of cells. It's crazy looking.
Oh wow, I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out for that, because I never noticed that, or I haven't gone to. No, sorry, I haven't gone to Vegas for a while, I guess.
Mhm.
So that's crazy. Yeah, so pretty much like I said earlier, Ross devoted like 5 years of his life towards physics and polymeric solar cells, because he wanted to expand the human knowledge, and it was something he loved to do, something he cherished, and he would appreciate, expanding the whole human race to something greater.
Sure.
That's what he devoted his life to. So pretty much, there's different types of engineering, from computer science, bioengineering, mechanical, aerospace, electro, and so on.
Mhm.
I know you did some engineering in your life, Davis. So can you tell me a little bit what kind of engineering you did?
Yeah, the engineering that I was a part of was mechanical engineering.
Oh, mechanical engineering. I mean, can you give me a little bit more details, exactly what you kind of did?
No, unless you sign an NDA, I won't really send you
Sorry.
that information. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll ear sign it.
Well, I worked for an aerospace company,
Okay.
and they manufactured inserts and fasteners for airplanes. So essentially, these really small parts
Uh-huh.
that go inside of the fuselage of the airplane, or inside like the galley area. So I don't know. I guess one of the products that we did were floor panel inserts.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, when you walk in and you're standing on something inside the airplane, like let's say you walk in and you know where all the seats are and stuff, and you're standing
Yeah.
there, that board there is
Yeah.
a floor panel.
Okay.
It's a honeycomb floor panel, and within that, there's essentially a bunch of little metal parts that are inside of it. Those connect to another thing inside of the airplane. So
Okay.
we designed and manufactured those small parts. We did some other things too, like isolator mounts, which absorb like vibration and shaking. And then we also did like aesthetic.
You should install that into like a bed. You're having sex and it absorbs all the bouncing. That's a cool invention. You should do that, Davis. Take my idea. I give it to you.
All right.
When you become a millionaire, think about me, all right?
Nope, you signed the NDA. So.
Aw.
Yeah, we did that. So yeah, it's something that I really loved. Currently, actually, even right now, kind of off topic, is I'm looking at another company to join. So
Okay. And do they have better opportunity there, or they're bigger, or?
I actually don't. So it's weird, right? Because I think that company itself, I think they're smaller than the company as far as workers and staff go,
Okay.
compared to my previous company. But I believe they're tied with a very large aerospace company.
So you're trying to say they're kind of greedy, not hiring any people and keeping the money to himself?
No, I don't think that's the case
Okay.
because I'm working with an agent.
Yeah.
And I actually worked with her previously at my old work, and
Okay.
I told her I was interested in finding some new work. So she's been helping me out. And actually, as far as the pay rate goes, it is substantially more than what I was making before. And when we had an interview together and we were discussing, the like, opportunities and whatnot, she was like, I don't want to disrespect you or anything, but you were getting way underpaid previously.
Oh.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Time to make the moolah.
Well, I don't know. So, I mean, knock on wood, and
Yeah.
hopefully they're able to set me up, and hopefully I can have a good showing with them. But I believe that their area of aerospace is a little bit different from what I was doing. But I'm always just interested in learning anything I can. So
Yeah, and just progressing and learning. That's what being an engineering is all about. About learning new different things and
Yeah.
progressing and inventing, and that's cool about engineering. There's different fields. I mean, like you did some aerospacing stuff.
Mhm.
Like Ross here, he did some I guess polymeric solar cells energy thing,
Mhm.
and there's so many different aspects to engineering, and without engineering, we wouldn't have anything. I mean, there's people that engineer the ones and zero, the matrix, and they create the cool stuff. They made nothing out of something.
sure.
So I was always intrigued myself as a creating stuff, but
Mhm.
I never had the opportunity I guess when I was younger to jump in the field of engineering or just creating something, because I always wanted to create maybe in video games. There's a bunch of
Yeah,
creating
programming
stuff.
and whatnot.
Programming. Yeah. So that's what I always loved to do, but I just never had the opportunity to do that because I kind of got stuck as a little kid where like, okay, I'm working now. What's the point of going to school? So
Yeah.
so it's kind of screwed me up. So I mean, anyone out there that's listening to the podcast, I definitely would recommend that try to go to school as much as possible while you're still young. Don't focus too much on work, because when you get older, there's no one there to support you and pay for your bills.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, that's just a lesson learned from me, and hopefully you learn from my mistake.
Well, no, but I would also say on the flip side too is that don't ever think that you're too old to be able to learn something that you always wanted to learn. Yeah, so I know it's difficult because a lot of people out there, they work full-time jobs and stuff,
Yeah.
but it all comes down to your drive and how much you're dedicated to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so there's people work full-time jobs. I mean, they're even single parents, and they're doing like online school and stuff like that too. These are people that just have a really strong will,
Yeah.
not like myself. I'm just a lazy dude, but it can be done. So anyone out there that wants to, don't be discouraged in any way.
Yeah,
you
that's
can find when there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely heard some stories of like some old people actually like in their 50s, 40s, and they're still going to school. I mean,
Yeah.
shout outs to them. But for me, it's a little bit hard because I'm in that phase of like, okay, now I have a good career going, and do I
Mhm.
really want to change it? Do I really want to go,
Right.
go to school and do all that stuff? So right now, I guess it's more of like, okay, I'll wing it. My career's going good. If something bad happens, then I'll try to focus
Mhm,
on
mhm.
school area. So, but yeah, back to like I said, Ross. Yeah, like I said, he did some what do you call it? That science, material science of engineering, and then he got into what do you call it? Into economics. So economics is more like he kind of changed his field because he wanted to learn how economics work. So pretty much the way economics work is like, is a social science that studies economic activities to gain an understand of the process that governs the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and service of the
Yep.
economy. So that being said, in 2008, after he learned physics and material science and engineering, he changed it's hard to, like I said, economics, and stated, quote unquote, now my goal have shifted. I want to use economics theory as a means to abolish the use of coherent and aggression and amongst mankind, just as slavery has been abolished. Mostly everywhere, I believe violence and all forms of force forced by one person over another can come to an end. The most widespread and systematic use of force is amongst intuition and government. So this is my current point of effort. The best way to change a government is to change the minds of the governed. However, to that end, I am creating an economics simulation to give people first-hand experience of what I would be like to live in a world without the systematic use of force.
Oh, interesting.
So when he said that, after he went to, I guess, like economics and kind of shifted his role, you know,
It changed his ideal on life.
yeah, pretty much.
essentially.
Yeah, it changes a
Wow.
lot. I mean, from him kind of like helping others and trying to create, a better thing for human and, push him to a better ideology. He decided to go into economics and try to change, I guess, he didn't like the way the government kind of ruled, you got to do this or you got to do that or whatever. He wanted to have a more free society.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the indictment against him says Silk Road was in many ways the apotheosis of free market economy because it was completely encrypted and completely anonymous using bitcoins, an uncrackable cryptocurrency. It stood outside any government regulation, including the criminal law, until today. So, like I said, pretty much, like I said, Silk Road was made for, like his theory of free trading, free marketing. You could sell whatever you want on there. You could buy whatever you want on there throughout the whole entire world.
Separate from government.
Yeah. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. So pretty much, how Silk Road was, kind of created, on April 9th, 2012, he posted on Google Plus if anyone knew anyone that worked in UPS, FedEx, or DHL.
Okay, so these like major shipping companies.
Yeah, major shipping companies that ship all over around the world. So, in my opinion, I think the only reason why he was asking if anyone is working for UPS, FedEx, or DHL was because he either needed more info to do an inside job or to figure out a system for his clients that are using Silk Road to import drugs across the world without being caught.
Okay.
So he was just trying to, like I said, he was just doing a little bit more investigation before he proceeded to make the website. So, like I said, he went to like forums and stuff and posted all these questions and hopefully, trying to get some ideas or better, their first initial step of creating Silk Road. So Ross, after, that question, Ross made an alias online, the Dread Pirate Roberts.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool name. But it was actually reference to a character in a movie, Princess Bride.
Okay.
So Ross's character in the movie was once a feared pirate, and that pirate kind of retired, and then he passed that fear onto, an underling of his.
Okay.
And then that underling kind of passed it again and again and again and so forth. So he kept passing, the fear of the pirate, so that way, he'll keep it going. And then so that is like the the real origin is completely obscured. So the way Silk Road kind of works is kind of similar to that story. So it's like Silk Road, or the communication on Tor. This thing called Tor is like pretty much is like each message are being routed through multiple destinations, making it impossible to know where the message originated.
So, I know a little bit about Tor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because I believe it was just basically like an incognito type of browser that you could use that could connect you to these like proxy servers and whatnot. So,
Yeah. So for, like, for example, if, let's say, if I was, if I was the one, the head honcho that made like ecstasy and I sold it to you, Davis, and you sold it to John, and then John sold it to Ro, and finally Ro sold it to Jackson.
Okay.
Then Jackson decided to kind of like backtrack and ask, where did the drugs come from? There's no way you, John, Ro will give up their source because they'll end up, losing any of the profits in a sense,
Okay.
So same thing with Silk Road. The Tor, it was bouncing from one IP to another until it was untraceable basically.
Okay.
So it's kind of crazy where like there was this crazy thing they invented where you can't track your information or where you got the information from.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to be dealing with illegal things, you want to try to protect yourself as much as possible. So
yeah, definitely. You don't want to get caught because I mean, dude, you're dealing with multi-gazillion dollars, and once you get caught, you're in the slammer for fucking the rest of your life. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or anything, but when you're saying Ross came up with the development for Silk Road and stuff, right? Did he at that point in time I'm pretty sure he had to have known that people were going to use it for illegal stuff.
Yeah.
But was that kind of like his goal? Do you know, or was that not intended, but it just happens to be a byproduct because it is completely free? That he understood, yeah, there is going to be drugs, or was it like, yeah, I want to do this because.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, okay, what the trial says that he made the website intended to be free, and for whoever wants to use it as whatever, so that way they can use Bitcoin. Bitcoins, you can use it anonymously, and same thing with the website. You want to do the same thing, and supposedly he gave up the website before it got big. But I mean, I'll go through the process of like what he kind of said online and stuff, so that way he kind of incriminated himself.
Sure.
Of doing it. So, and like I said, back to Tor. The crazy thing about Tor is that the routing system is public and maintained by a nonprofit organization that runs on a donation from varieties of organization, including Human Rights Watch, Radio Free Asia, the National Science Foundation, and Google. It's great.
And viewers just like you.
Yeah. Because, pretty much those people want to, create like a free type of internet website or, whatever it is to share and, without being kind of caught. So
I mean, that was like what the internet was all about before, right? It was about freedom of speech and all this other like stuff. So.
Yeah, then there's a freaking NSA trying to look at everything you do and fucking downloading your secret stash of porn on your telephone. They're just looking through everything. It's like, bastard, dude, I can't freaking watch porn by myself, dude. I'm scared like if you're jacking off to porn on your phone and your freaking little camera turns on and looking at you jacking off. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
That's when you look right back into that camera and you give them a nice wink, like, pew. Hello.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome.
But yeah, like a lot of journalists use Tor to communicate with confidential sources. Even WikiLeaks use Tor to collect documents from whistleblowers. So,
sounds right.
Yeah. So, and who wanted to remain anonymous, law enforcement agents use Tor to visit websites without leaving records of any of the government computers or IP address and weblogs. So it's kind of crazy, like even like. Well, I guess I was gonna bring up Snowden, but he came out through YouTube anyway, and he talked to some other dude that journalist. So either way, he wanted to be known as a whistleblower.
Right.
So I guess he didn't really need Tor. So
yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if he used it in the past and stuff, and maybe as a means of getting the documents that when he worked with the organizations and whatnot and did his stuff, somehow pulled that out. Maybe he used something, if not Tor, something similar to it to get that info out, because if he used like something common, it would have been traceable then in a sense, and they would have probably found him before he had a chance to actually even escape.
Yeah, like for me, dude, I'm pretty freaking horrible. I mean, dude, if I'm trying to hide something, I don't think I can. I'm too open with just saying stuff online and just saying retarded stuff, so it's just like throwing evidence against me. Oh man, I wouldn't trust myself. But yeah, Ross was like I said, Ross was a bright and intelligent guy, but when it came down to like coding, software development, he had to turn to a software developer.
Okay.
So like I said, like I said before, he did physics and material science and economics. And like I said, he's a smart guy, but when it comes down to software coding, it's a little bit different. You have to do a lot of memorizing of zeros and ones, and I don't know exactly what you have to do in software development, but I could assume it's really difficult, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's essentially learning a language, right?
Yeah.
So when you're writing software, then there's essentially languages that you learn, C++, Java, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And even though he's a smart guy, I'm sure he could have learned it,
Yeah.
but assuming that his area of expertise wasn't specifically in that area,
Mm-hmm.
he's a smart guy in general, just understanding that and saying, okay, you know what, I don't know how to do this. I know what I want. So I need to get the right people in place to get me what I need, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the mess up thing was that he kind of like when he went to go search for like a software developer, you know, he's like one of his questions was, how can I connect to Tor hidden service using curl and PHP? So it kind of, you know, now he's starting the phase of kind of incriminating himself because now he's starting to leave like a trail of questions that he's asking on like forums and whatnot, you know?
Mhm.
So what Ross?
Yeah, how could you get around that? It's like, you know, when you talk about Tor and stuff, yes, it's, you know, it could be used for, you know, standard things where you just want to protect your identity.
Yeah.
Then obviously it can be used for illegal stuff.
Yep.
And it's like, so have you ever heard of this thing before called Tor? Tor. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's hard to kind of like ask certain questions without people instantly knowing what you're trying to get around. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks though. I mean, especially just going online and just asking questions. You know, like I said, people kind of track you down through like IP address, and if they have the right device or the right hacking mechanisms, they can figure out who's asking the question. You know? So that is just crazy. I mean, you think you're safe, but you're not. I mean, this is the world of technology. I mean, you're being spied on no matter what.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't watch porn on your phone safely. I mean, they are looking at you. They are recording you, and then you'll end up on being the porn website showing you, you know, from the NSA recording you and posting onto the porn website.
Oh man, I better get my cut then.
I know, right?
Shoot, people have seen pictures of my feet that you wouldn't believe. Stepping on watermelons and stuff. Top dollar.
But yeah, like I said, after you asked that question, you know, online, what Ross didn't know, or at least didn't know, is that the FBI was watching his every move online, online, and off. According to the indictment, he also made a mistake for using his real name when making the post before he changed it to Frosty.
Oh, that's
so.
That's
a little tip for everyone. Don't use your real name if you're trying to make a multi-gazillion-dollar website of the undermarket. So
the black market.
Or the black market.
Smart guy, but yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
it happens, I guess. People slip. So.
Yeah, I guess maybe he didn't have enough street smarts, I guess. I don't.
Yeah, that could be it.
So I just had book smart. Yeah. So, I mean, by summer 2013, they were conducting surveillance on Ross directly. So they're just, you know, spying on him. They know exactly who's the guy that's pretty much in charge now, you know, like who's the big dog running this ring. So after a while, they finally located, you know, the Silk Road server and copied everything on it, including all the users' account and millions in Bitcoin wallets. So that's a lot of fucking money they're using, you know.
It's a lot of Bitcoins.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the way Bitcoin is going, I mean, well, during that time, Bitcoin was jumping up a lot. Like it had its up and down, but I mean, at one point, Bitcoin was pretty up there until they got, I think they got hacked or something. I forgot what it was. But
yeah, I don't know how much a Bitcoin is, right? Do you know? Or
no, I actually don't.
Because I think the last time I checked, it was maybe like a couple $100 for a Bitcoin, and maybe
really?
maybe like $300 for a Bitcoin. But you know, obviously you can get fractions of a Bitcoin. So
yeah.
But one Bitcoin was, I believe, around $200-300.
Oh wow.
Yep.
That's a big chunk. So you know, well, the feds wanted to prove that Ross was, you know, the operator of, you know, Silk Road, which was not an easy task because, you know, the encryption on Tor is pretty difficult. I mean, like I said, you know, on Tor it would just bounce like IP to another IP to another IP. It's like, dude, how do you track this guy? Even people from WikiLeaks and Google and the government was using Tor, so that way they won't be tracked down. So I mean, how do you use something that you personally use that won't be tracked backtrack to you and then find out this guy's using the exact same thing, tour. So it's pretty crazy. So pretty much in June of 2013, Ross allegedly logged into Silk Road from the internet cafe in San Francisco. From there, the feds traced his Gmail log and located his apartment 500 feet away on Hickory Street in San Francisco. They monitored his mail and allegedly received fake IDs with different names, but with his pictures. And I think he made about like 8 different licenses, I believe.
Okay.
So pretty much that kind of was part of his trial to use evidence against him. So the crazy part, like I said before earlier, where the website contains drugs, underage porn, fake driver license, and they also have hitmen.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. So
yeah, that's ridiculous, actually. How do you actually, sorry, it's a little side story now that I just thought about it, but speaking of hitmen, I actually kind of knew an encounter where someone hired a hitman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy, actually, because it was in like the OC news.
Is he part of the Yakuza clan?
No, they are not. So I'm trying to think of a way that I could tell this story without telling too much information. But
so this guy's name was Davis Nguyen.
So I hired a hitman named Franky Tan, and he couldn't hit anything, so I just fired him. I used to work at a previous job back in the days, years ago.
Okay.
I knew I had a acquaintance there. He wasn't even really a friend, but it was just a person that worked there, because I was in IT during that time.
Yeah.
So I basically knew everyone because I set up all their station and helped them with computer problems and whatnot. So dude seemed like a regular ass dude, like just normal guy.
What is he, like older, younger?
I don't want to say even, actually, just to not like incriminate or anything. But it was just seemed like a very regular dude. But years on later, I left that work, but I still kept in touch with some people that I definitely are friends of mine that I made friends with there.
Yeah.
And this friend of mine, he ended up sending me a news article in the OC. It was like OC Register Weekly or something.
Okay.
And it said that X person, the person that we used to work with, was caught by the police trying to hire a hitman to murder his girlfriend.
Oh, wow. That is fucking nuts.
It was crazy, actually. And when he sent it to me, I was like, is this that person? Is this Mr. X? It's like, it's the same Mr. X that we used to talk to. And I went out and had lunch with him and stuff before too, randomly, because you just go out and have lunch with coworkers and whatnot. It's the same dude. I was like, no way.
Dude, his wife must have been a real bitch for him to hire a hitman to freaking, right? I mean,
because we know it's the woman's fault.
It's always the woman's fault.
I'm just kidding.
We're gonna lose all the woman viewers out there. I'm sorry. We love you guys.
Just kidding. We love you, baby. It's all good.
But dude, that's fucking crazy. I mean, for him to hire to kind of think about it, man, I hate this bitch, and maybe I'll hire a hitman, but to actually do it and proceed with the plan, he must have really, really hated her. She must have done something really bad, or I don't know, unless he wanted money out of it, maybe some insurance money. That's the only thing I could think of. The other thing I could think of,
there's a lot of different ways that you could look at the situation. Yeah. The way I see it is that, number one, if you're going to hire a hitman, there's something wrong with you. Right then and there. if you're plotting to kill someone, there's something seriously wrong with you. Regardless of, oh, maybe she cheated on me, maybe she did this, maybe she did that. But the answer is not, okay, I'm going to hire someone to kill you. So I think number one is, and if someone that is their mindset, who knows? What if it was something small even, but is the person's not right? They're crazy. Yeah, that's so it could be like, oh, I'm washing dishes. Whoops, I dropped a plate and broke it. And all of a sudden he's like, and then snap, so, whatever the situation was, I'm not sure exactly. So maybe she did something terrible. Maybe she didn't. Who knows, But besides the fact, he's crazy enough to try to hire someone. And at the time, I was thinking, how do you even do that? How do you even look around for a hitman? Like, hey, Frankie, how's it going? Like, pretty good. And like, hey, you know a lot of people, right? Like, would you happen to know someone that like can do something for me? Like, well, you looking for someone to maybe do siding for your house or construction work or plumbing? It's like, no, I'm looking for someone that knows how to kill someone. Like, how do you do?
I don't know. That's pretty difficult because like you would actually
Because this was before Silk Road, so I guess apparently now you could just go on the internet and find someone.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do that. I mean, would you have to? I mean, even if you ask the people you know or even strangers, I mean, that's a really difficult question, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, would you have to reword your words really, really carefully? It's like, hey, so, you know, this girl, you know, I just want her bloop in the head. And but, you know, it's hard to even bring that up towards anyone.
I want her Ilske on the kills days. Like, yeah. So, but I guess what happened, and, you know, thank goodness it happened, was he apparently was asking the wrong people, and the police heard word of it.
Oh, okay.
And they set up a sting operation. And the greatest thing of all is that the sting operation went down at a Carl's Jr. I kid you not. Let's go for some burgers and let's talk about killing someone.
That is fucking...
Right?
I can't wrap my head around that. That's fucking funny.
Yeah. So apparently, according to the article, was he met up with a supposed hitman, which was actually an undercover police officer. And then he said, okay, why don't we meet somewhere? And they met at the Carl's Jr. to discuss about how they're going to do things. And then once, I guess, like the handshake or deal went down, boom, handcuffs. And they stopped him. Thank goodness they did, you know, because holy cow. But it's just so weird that I knew this person.
Yeah.
I talked to them on a day-to-day basis. I had lunch with them, and
did you see any signs of him being kind of crazy or?
No, not at all, which is the scariest thing.
I'm kind of scared. Are you going to kill me, Davis? I got no signs of you being mad at me or anything, but are you going to hire someone and kill me?
No, I'm not going to hire someone. I'm just going to do it myself. Jeez, come on. You know I don't have any money. So. And that's later. So you want a bite of this cupcake I made?
So good, David. Yeah. Well, since you kind of brought that up, Ross, he did a similar scenario in a sense. Like he actually hired one of these hitman.
That's crazy.
Yeah, one of these hitman through Silk Road, because, like I said, Silk Road had the opportunity for, like I said, underage porn, fake driver license, drugs, whatever you name, like even hitmen, you could just hire them and just, hey, here's some cash, kill the dude, we're good.
Nuts.
But yeah, so let's go a little bit into it. So under all the investigation, they found out that Ross was being blackmailed, a Silk Road user named Friendly Chemist.
Because I wouldn't want to jerk as a chemist.
But Friendly Chemist sounds kind of cool, though. You kind of think about it. We're like, hey, dude, I got the drugs, the Friendly Chemist guy,
Dude, he's such a nice dude. He's always smiling and stuff.
So this guy named Friendly Chemist hacked into another computer of another Silk Road user and obtained a logged list of names and identities of Silk Road customers. So the hacker said if Ross didn't give up $500,000, he would expose all of Silk Road's customers' identities. So, I mean, as a person that's in charge of a website, of a big multi-gazillion-dollar underground website, that's a big no-no, that's a really big problem. Because you're exposing everyone's identity that's buying and selling drugs, basically, all over the world, not just United States or Europe or just London, not just one area, but you're exposing everyone in the world that's using it. So it's crazy because everyone freaking used Silk Road during that time. So after the blackmail, Ross turned to a hitman and asked if Friendly Chemist,
holy cow,
be executed.
So. And he hired a dude named Friendly Hitman.
Dude, that would have been the awesome freaking name, dude.
Hitman the Sweetie.
This guy sounds pretty good. He sounds legit. So on March 27, 2013, Ross said, "In my eyes, Friendly Chemist is a liability."
Wait. Sorry. Can you read it like Ross?
Ooh, in my eyes, Friendly Chemist is a liability.
I was good. Why is he like so sensual? Mr. Ross.
Hey, baby. All right. So, like it's a quote unquote, in my eyes, Friendly Chemist is a liability, and I wouldn't mind if he was executed. ... I'm not sure how you already know how about this guy, but I have the following info, and I'm waiting on getting his address. So Ross provided a name for Friendly Chemist and stated that he lived in White Rock, British Columbia, Canada.
Canada, eh?
Yeah. Then with his wife plus 3 kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Ross added, "Let me know if it would be helpful if you had the full address." It was kind of
For a smart guy, using his real name for an account, and then all right, I need you to kill this dude. 4578. Let me know if you need the rest. If you think it's important.
Do you need the full address? Here's partial. You might be able to find them. Just this guy with 3 kids, okay, and a wife.
We're gonna make it kind of fun. It'll be like an Easter egg hunt.
I'll make it interesting for the hitman, okay? But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like this guy that's kind of blackmailing Ross.
Yeah.
He has a freaking wife and 3 kids. So it's pretty crazy. So on the same day, the hitman replied, replying with a pricing quote, 150,000 or 300,000, depending on how you want it done, clean or non-clean.
What? There's packages? What the heck?
It's crazy, right? Like you're like, dude, do you want this guy to fucking just shot in the head dead, or do you want to beat the living shit out of him and kill his kids and wife slowly, or whatever it is,
Oh my goodness.
So depending on the price, so it's crazy, dude. Like I didn't know there's different packages for hitman. I thought it was just like, hey, here's $50,000, here's $100,000, just kill that guy,
Yeah, geez Louise. It's like, all right, $50 is going to get you the tickle to death package. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strap him down, tickle his armpits with a feather until he dies.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
So, yeah, that's pretty messed up. I wouldn't want that.
I think that's a pretty cruel, fucked up way to
Hell yeah,
mess
dude.
with someone.
Getting tickled to death? Man, that'd suck. Because you'd be laughing the whole time, but you can't help it. It's like, stop. Oh, just die.
It's fucked up, dude. That's messed up. That's cruel way, Davis.
That's my package.
That's a cruel way, Davis.
That's my package. That's what I do to my little nieces and nephews. That's my hitman work.
I always hated that when I was younger. I couldn't do anything because
Yep.
everyone's so much stronger than me, and I was only like 7, and they just lay on top of me and just tickle the shit out of me. Like, no,
Yep.
stop it.
For extra $10, I'll do the raspberry on the belly where you go on their stomach and they
You're a crazy hitman. So pretty much, all right. So on March 31st, 2013, Ross said, I don't want to be a pain here, but the price seems a little bit high. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
time to negotiate, dude.
Yeah, this guy's making like gazillions of dollars on Silk Road, and he's negotiating only like 150,000, 300,000. It's like, dude, you're making like.
Is he making a lot of money off the Silk Road?
Yeah, he made a lot of money,
Okay.
but I'll let you get. I'll give you that price and how much he made later.
Okay, so he is making a lot of money, but he's still nickel and diamond.
Yeah, I was like, dude, why you need nickel and dime for, dude? You're crazy. Here's $1 million instead. But yeah, said not long ago. He said not long ago I had a clean hit done for $80,000. So I was like, this guy's still negotiating. Like, why are you charging me $150,000 to $300,000? This other guy only did it for $80,000. Like, what the fuck? So, other price you quoted the best you can do. That's what he asked though. And then he stated after, I would like this done ASAP, as he's talking about releasing the info on Monday. So moments later, he allegedly accepted the offer.
Okay.
So instead of kind of trying to negotiate, they don't know the exact pricing, but he just said, "Okay, I accepted the offer."
Yeah, not to make light of the situation, because we're obviously talking about murder here, but it's just, I don't know, it's so funny because it's something so serious, but in the context, if you just replace murder with buying a car, it's like the exact same thing you would go through, right? It's like some dude, it's like, oh, dude, I don't know. You're asking $150 for that car, or $150,000 for that car. It's pretty expensive. Like, dude, some other dude sold a Honda Civic for like 80,000, and like, come on, help me out here.
Yeah, stop trying to screw me over, dude. I know the car ain't worth the freaking $150,000. Come on, dude. At least meet me in the middle. Let's do $100,000.
It's like, all right, fine. Where do you want to pick up the car? Why don't we go down to the Cars Junior and I'll pick up the car? It's crazy.
Yeah, it is fucking crazy. I mean, but I'm assuming the reason why he kind of negotiate the prices to figure out if he's really a hitman or not. I don't think the pricing really matters, but I think it might have been like a tactic to figure out if he really was a hitman, and that's why he's trying to play around and figure out if he's legit or not.
I wonder what would indicate whether or not he's real. So let's say you're in this situation and you're like, okay, I want to try to figure out if this dude's legit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to like play around with the pricing. Like,
Yeah.
so if he were to agree to it, would that mean that he's legit? Or if he were like, no, there's no change, this is the pricing, would that make him legit?
Well, all right, from my point of view, because I do a lot of sales, right? I do certain tactics where if because I do a lot with online buying, and I don't know the person personally,
Mm-hmm.
so I ask certain questions. I would say, "Hey, how come you're getting rid of the equipment?" And if they can't give me a legitimate explanation saying, "Oh yeah, because we just upgraded our phone system, or we just upgraded our routers and switchers, and we're looking to get rid of it," if they don't explain that in certain details, then I would know they're fake.
Oh, okay.
So I ask them certain questions to get certain answers from them.
Okay. I see.
So yeah, I had a few incidents where people was like, "Huh, what's that question for?" It's like, "Oh no, I just want to know. That's all."
Mhm.
And then then I know then they're trying to swindle me or scam me out of some money.
Gotcha.
So
Oh.
for him, I'm thinking he's doing kind of like the same thing. Like,
Okay.
I think $150,000 a lot. I paid only 80,000. And then with his response of coming back out, you figure out if he's a real hitman or not.
Okay, interesting.
So pretty much after the $80,000 alleged offer and all that stuff, several hours later on March 31st, 2013, the hitman wrote back and said, "I received the payment. ... We know where he is. He'll be grabbed tonight, and I'll update you."
Oh.
So I mean that's pretty scary. So approximately 24 hours later, the hitman updated Ross, stating, "Your problem has been taken care of. Rest with ease, because he won't be blackmailing anyone ever, or blackmailing anyone again ever." you know?
Man.
So it's pretty, from, I guess.
Do you know if these accounts are actually true?
Well,
Like it did happen?
The
or-
thing is, what in his trial, what I was kind of reading up about, is that the cops or the FBI did not find any evidence of any dead bodies anywhere.
Okay.
So they couldn't find anything. So they couldn't use execution or criminal or murder case against Ross,
Okay.
because
so-
they never found anything towards it. So
Okay.
it might have happened or didn't happen, but they couldn't find any evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So when they kind of put him on trial, they had to kind of eliminate that factor out.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty much, I want to get into the Silk Road website. Like I said before, for all your audience that don't really know, the idea of how big the kingpin really is, Ross. Silk Road is cyber underworld market for illegal activities. You could pretty much get like cocaine, ecstasy, weed, LSD, DMT. Like I said before, the storyline before, hitman, fake driver license, child porn. You can even get like heroin. They even sell like jewelry's weapon. Like, dude, you could buy weapons on there.
Can I get a rocket launcher?
You probably could.
Oh.
That's the crazy thing. You just like buy one, shoot down a helicopter. So it's nuts. And like I said, they sell like even stuff like tobacco and electronics. So you could pretty much steal equipment and buy and sell electronics on there if you want to, or steal jewelry and sell on there. Like, how would you trace that down? Because it's pretty much there's no tag or anything on it.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there's anything good that you could do on Silk Road then in that case. But I guess if it's like just regular, then you just go to Amazon or something then at that point. Unless the price is really good, but it'd probably be stolen then at that point.
Yeah, I mean, what is the difference between, I guess, kind of like, okay, a 50-inch TV from Amazon versus the one on Silk Road, and exact same thing, but it's stolen, but it's actually the same product, right? And for a cheaper price.
Yeah, but what sucks is that the one from Amazon came from the manufacturer, and then the one from Silk Road came from my living room because my house got broken into. And hey, that TV looks a lot like mine, Frankie.
You sure? I don't know. I got this on Silk Road. They're pretty legit website.
Look, it says my name on the back of it. I usually put stickers so I can identify it.
No. That's just some other guy named Davis.
Damn.
Davis Nguyen. Oh, yeah, the same birthday, but that's still another guy.
Small world, I guess. Holy cow.
Well, like I said, dude, you name it, anything's on that website. It's fucking crazy, and it's hard to kind of log into that website because I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe you had to kind of download some kind of, I don't know, some kind of application. Then you have to upload something. Then you can actually finally get into the website. You can't just log on to it.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, have you ever been onto it?
I actually tried when I heard about it,
Okay.
just to see, just to look at it, just to like, okay.
Just on Google. Silk Road.
Yeah, I was like, dude, is it that easy? I want to go buy some heroin or something. But I just wanted just to test it out, just to see if it's like actually available.
Yeah.
But you actually have to do this crazy process you have to do to actually get to it. So that way it kind of protects the website or the server location, of actually dealing stuff online.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing was, like I said before, all the currency was exchanged through Bitcoin. So it's like virtual money. I mean, I know a little bit about Bitcoin, where the guy that created Bitcoin was creating it to have a virtual money without the government.
Yeah, separate from government.
Yeah, separate from government. And it'd be a lot cheaper to exchange money. And, the guy that created Bitcoin didn't really use it for anything bad. He just wanted to create some kind of virtual money. But, like I said, it's still a beginning phase of Bitcoin in a sense, because look at what they did. They didn't use Bitcoin for Silk Road.
Yeah.
They exchanged money for drugs or for child porn or whatever, stolen electronics, a TV from Davis' living room.
Man.
So yeah, it's crazy. So on any big website, there's always bad people trying to scam or doing fraudulent activities. The way people find out who's stealing legit drugs, a website, jewelry, etc., online is by having good reviews, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone reports that someone or a certain area is stealing fake stuff, people would stay away from, that area and only buy from people with good reviews.
Sure.
So same thing with any big companies like Amazon or, what do you call it, eBay. There's always people leaving reviews saying, oh, this guy's paid on time. This guy, has good equipment. This guy's legit to deal with. So same thing with the big website. I mean, if you're buying certain drugs from Canada at a certain location and you receive something bad, someone's just going to report it in and say, hey, this area has bad drugs and don't deal with this area. Until, one person has a good review, then people would just directly go to that guy. So it's pretty crazy, like how, dude, everything's based off on reviews.
Sure. I mean, even in the black market, right? You gotta, especially with the black market, I imagine, because you're dealing with a bunch of illegal stuff, and it's more likely that you'll get fraudulent things in that sense.
Yeah.
So I'm buying this iPad, but when I look at it, it's all plastic, and it's the screen.
I fraud.
Yeah. And it's just a fake piece of junk, and then I will write my review that it's terrible. So that's the only thing you really have to go off of.
Yeah. So, with Silk Road, it opened like new opportunities for a lot of illegal business, to raise, making it a $1.2 billion industry, not million, but $1 billion.
Billion.
Would it be? It's crazy on that website alone. Just that website. That's how much drug trafficking, how much weapon trafficking, how much porn trafficking, just all that stuff into one single website.
That's crazy.
That this guy Ross was a super intelligent guy that was aiming towards to better humankind, but devoted his life towards it. Then he somehow switched to making this website into a drug trafficking underworld black market.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty nuts. So out of the $1.2 billion traded and selling, he made, and just commission alone, $79.8 million.
That's a good amount of money.
Yeah, just sitting there and just collecting money. And that's just like, oh, dude.
Sure. So every transaction, there's some sort of cut that he gets out of it.
So let me ask you a question. If you were Ross and you were running, this elaborate scheme of selling drugs, weapon, jewelry, etc., and made $79.8 million, would you still keep the website going or just say, fuck it, I'm out of this?
It's hard to say,
Mm-hmm.
because if it was, I was doing fine and it was kind of on its uptrend,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was continually going and I was still making more money and more money,
Mm-hmm.
at that point in time, I would, why stop playing the music, right?
Yeah, I mean,
We're partying, we're doing good, let's keep going. But if there was any inclination of like, like things seem like, maybe the police are starting to look into this, or the FBI, maybe people are trying to blackmail me and I have to start looking for a hitman to get rid of people, then maybe at that point I'd start saying, okay, you know what? I'm probably going to step away from this.
Well, do you think, I mean, because the guy, the friendly chemist, got a hold of everyone's information. What do you do from there, though? I mean, can you really step away from that point, though? Because now he has everyone's name.
With $79.8 million in my pocket, I might be able to escape somewhere and buy some sort of like small Gilligan's Island and just like live the rest of my life out there with like some supermodels. But yeah, that's a tough question. I don't think I would. I want to hire a hitman. What I would hire is a better hacker than he is, and then double blackmail him back and say, aha, you have kids and you have a wife, and I'm going to tell you on your wife. I'm going to tell her what you've been doing, because you haven't just been working at IKEA like you say you have. You've been trying to get people in trouble online. She's going to be like, well, you made all this money, where's my cut? And he's like, oh crap, and damn it, the wife found out. He's going to be big trouble.
Well, what if she was part of the scheme?
Oh shoot!
Then you can't blackmail them anymore.
I'll tell their parents. I'll go to their.
All right, there you go. That sounds more legitimate right there.
Because everyone's afraid of their parents. I'll tell you that, regardless of how old you are.
That is true. You don't want your parents yelling at you, screaming at you, say, "Hey, what you been doing wrong?" There's a slap with some chopsticks. Or at least in the Asian culture, they slap you with freaking chopsticks, dude.
Yeah, like
that shit hurts.
Hit you with that like 25-pound bag of rice, and like, oh man, it's the worst. Yeah, I'd just go to jail at that point. I'd be like, screw that. I don't hear my dad bickering at me.
Fuck it, take me in. Here's all the evidence against me.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I said, things going well, no signs of trouble or anything. Keep it rolling. Let's keep going.
Well, let's say before. I mean, let's say you got. Let's just bump it up to round it up to $80 million. Okay. All right. Let's say you get $80 million before even the hitman comes and all that evidence against you. Would you rethink your career as a black market underworld kingpin and just say, okay, I'm just gonna stop everything, collect the $80 million, and say fuck it?
See, unfortunately, because like I asked the question early on, was that was his intention to be running an illegal thing? It's because it sounded like initially it was, okay, I just want to create something that's free and open to everyone, separate from the government. That's it, right? Yeah. And that maybe at that point in time, he intended it to be something that was just, universal, and you don't have to worry about, whatever. not necessarily that, okay, it's going to be catered exactly to just a bunch of illegal stuff. I
Yeah.
understand that, yes, because it's so free, that is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But my vision was always that it's just something free and anyone can use, you know?
Yeah.
So if my outlook was that, and let's say, okay, then boom, I set up the website. Next thing I know, all sorts of illegal stuff, mostly illegal stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I go, oh no, this isn't what I wanted, right?
Uh-huh.
But then the cuts start coming in because transactions start happening.
Yeah, you start getting the
And
commission
then,
from it.
yeah, I look at the bank, or I look at the account, and it says that, oh, I made $100,000 in one day. I'm like, what? Wait, what? And then the next day, oh, I made $300,000. And the next, and then, hey, I just hit $1 million.
Yep.
And then I hit $10 million. I hit 25, going up to 80 million, right?
Yeah.
At that point in time, it's hard to say, because I think if I had stopped, I would have stopped immediately at the point where I was like, oh my God, there's nothing but bad illegal stuff on here. This wasn't what I intended. I'm shutting it down immediately.
Well, where would you say you would actually? I mean, you're stuck in that cycle of getting this a bunch of money, right? And
Yeah.
then you're stuck getting $1 million, $10 million, up to $80 million. I mean, from your point of view, when would you want to actually cut yourself and saying, oh, dude, this is just enough. I have enough money to fucking retire for the rest of my life.
Unfortunately, that ride is way too wild. And I would say that I would like to think that I would stop early on. If my intentions were good,
Uh-huh.
I would have stopped immediately once everything was legal.
Screw your intentions.
But
I'm
but
talking
yeah,
about the
yeah,
money
yeah.
wise, when you just like, okay,
Right.
I know I have to stop, but when would you want to stop? At
I
what
wouldn't.
price?
I wouldn't.
Oh, you
honestly.
wouldn't?
I wouldn't, because if things are well, like I said, if just money, no worries, anything, I'm completely covered.
Yeah.
Why stop? Why?
Yeah.
There's almost no point in stopping at that point. But as soon as there's a sign of trouble, as soon as the FBI starts sniffing around, okay, done. At any amount of money.
Well, that's why I learned from a lot of from a lot of documentaries that I've seen from like drug lords and like big kingpins selling drugs and stuff. People get too greedy and they go to that point where like, okay, now the FBI is starting to sniff, and that's a point where it's too late.
Sure.
Like, I think you just need to get to a point where you're saying, dude, $25 million. What are you gonna do for the rest of your life, dude? That's a good amount of money. Even $50 million. Then you could just cut yourself off. You just have to learn to not be greedy and just say, dude, this is good enough for me. You could laundry the money into another business and create more money. You just have to think something along where the government approve of the business.
In theory, that is correct. However, when it's happening, and if it's happening fast, it's very hard to stop. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I totally agree.
Just like gambling, right? If you go out, you're at the craps table, you shoot some craps, and then your $25 that you first started off with turns into 50 and then 100, right? And you're like, oh wow, yeah, I should stop.
Yeah,
but
that's so true.
it's very hard. It's very hard to stop.
That kind of reminded me of my snowboarding trip. We came back and there was a small casino on the way back, and I actually was gonna just throw $100 on red, but
Okay.
the craps table, or not craps table, but the roulette table was closed. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So my other buddies, they were playing some blackjack, and then I was like, oh, okay. I just watched them play. Then I saw this big slot machine where it's like $1 bet, max bet $5.
Okay.
So I went in, I lost a few, like probably $8, $7. I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna throw one more 20 in just to play for fun. And I fucking hit the max bet once, fell. Hit max bet again, and I won money. I think
Nice.
I won like $10, right?
Okay.
After losing all the money, I accumulated up to like $10 more. I was like,
So you're up $10?
yeah.
Okay.
I was up $10. I was like, receive my, just receive it and
Okay.
just take the money out. And it's like, dude, I'm up $10.
Nice.
Fuck it.
Nice.
That's $10 I didn't have, and then I can use that towards eating food or drinks or whatever. And I learned a little bit like not to be too greedy anymore.
Sure. Sure.
Especially with the slot machines. Man, those things they're fucked up, dude. There are a lot of people play that shit and they think they're gonna win, but you're not. I mean, once you win that semi kind of okay one, just take your money and walk the fuck out, dude. Because the odds against you on the slot machines are really bad. It's just throwing money in there. You're just wasting it, and you're just eating up all your cash, and you're just like, oh, fuck. So, I mean, for him, like, I don't know. For me, I mean, I think for me personally, I would have stopped. If I want to play on a safe side, I think I would have stopped at 25, 50 million. Max. I think I would have been just happy with just $50 million and just say fuck it.
Wait a second. You said 25, but now it's 50.
No. I'm saying no. It's max though. Max.
Wait, why is there a max?
Because
that doesn't make sense.
Because
so what is it? Is it 50 or is it 25 or 50?
No. All right, 25 to play if I was playing safe, and then like you said earlier, like you're gonna have that curiosity, like, oh, okay, I keep winning. Then 50, I would have a limit on myself. 50.
Why not stop at 1?
No, that's not it. I'm not making this damn website to make $1.
No, I mean 1 million.
Dude, 1 million is equivalent to $1 now. $1 million is nothing now in the United States. Dude, a freaking house down the street is like worth $1 million.
But think about it. People spend an entire lifetime trying to pay off for a house. You just right then and there, boom, $1 million. You got your house. Everything else is gravy. You work a regular job or whatever. Even $1 million, you could put it into a business.
That is true, but not 25. I guess, yeah, I understand where Ross is kind of, playing that role of being a little bit greedy. And I like anyone else out there, they probably would feel the greed too. Like,
it's unfortunate because a lot of times you don't know what to do, and you've never been in a situation where you had so much money. And when you do get a ton of money very quickly, generally you make terrible mistakes with that.
Yeah, same thing with I know we're kind of drifting off, but with that, it kind of remind me of was it Mike Tyson?
Yeah, look at that.
He made $30 million from fighting, and like, dude, that guy was spending money on buying a fucking tiger for his house. Like, what the fuck? Why would you buy a tiger?
Makes sense.
And cocaine and whatever. He's just buying a bunch of random stuff. And I remember, I didn't watch his full documentary, but I remember there's a part of the story saying, he was young and naive, and what do you do when you're young and you get a shitload of money? You're just going to spend it and do stupid stuff with it. Yep. So, I mean, I guess
that's the scary thing. That's why I never put it beyond myself that, unfortunately, if a whole crap ton of money came, that I might not make a bad decision. I would like to say right now that I wouldn't. Yeah. But who knows, Who
I know when you come,
you never know.
Let's get a yacht.
Yeah, why not, right? Because it's only like $1 million. And you got 80? Then you have 79 left. Yeah. Why not?
And then you're going to end up being like that freaking The Wolf of Wall Street going,
exactly.
Sniffing cocaine off of a girl's ass. That was a fucking awesome movie. But yeah, so, let me ask you the next question. For being, a college graduate for physics, economic, and material science of engineering, you want to take a guess on how he got caught?
Well, we already talked about some silly mistakes that he made previously.
For a smart guy, for an intelligent guy, for guy being like 5 years in college and getting his master's and everything, how do you think he got caught?
And this probably comes down to, like you mentioned earlier, street smarts. So there's book smarts and there's street smarts. Yeah. So I'm sure he made a terrible street dumb move or non-street smarts move. How could he have gotten caught? I don't know. I'd say maybe he used his own notebook or something for like messaging someone, and he wasn't using the proper like cover-ups, or maybe he just slipped and forgot to use Tor one time or turn it on or whatever it is. That's the only thing I can think of.
It's kind of close. Well, he opened up like a porn shop and he sniffed some girl's ass with coke.
Keep going.
And he bought a yacht.
He made a movie called Wolf of Wall Street too.
But the way he got caught was he went on to some programming board or forum, and he used his real email.
Okay.
His real email.
So on top of using his real name previously, he used his real email.
That's how he finally got caught and got enough evidence against them to use against them. And he used his email, his real email, to to do some kind of illegal thing, and he just got caught from there, and pretty much he went to jail because of it. No, I mean, what a crappy way, what a horrible way to end a story of like, you created this multi-billion-dollar industry from one website, from this underground thing, and you got caught from using your real email. They have all the solid evidence against you now. I mean, what a shitty way to go down,
What's his last name?
Albert?
Albert?
Yeah.
It's like Ross, I created Silk Road Albert XXX420 at gmail.com.
Yeah, but it's crazy because just recently he just got trialed. So now he's like, like I said, he was like 29 years old, and now he's 30 years old. And after 3 weeks of trial, a federal jury has found Ross Albert, the creator of underground site Silk Road, guilty on all counts. Pretty much every count they put against him.
So this happened within the course of a year?
No, in the course of 2 years.
Oh, okay. Damn, even 2 years.
Yeah, because I believe they started since 2011, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot. Yeah, either 2011 or 2012. I think it's 2011. And yeah, they just Silk Road just boosted because you got to think like, dude, how many drug dealers out there, especially you compare to the back in the days where people had to import drugs through airplanes and boats and shit. Now you just like, you're importing drugs through a fucking website, through FedEx, UPS, DHL,
Yeah, actually, now that you mention that, going back to it, so you said that he was contacting people trying to find out if anyone worked with UPS, FedEx, or whatever. So were those carriers that would actually deliver on goods through Silk Road then? Like,
yeah, those are the actual carriers. So now people can actually still. I wouldn't recommend. Don't do it, guys. The viewers out there, but don't do it. But people actually still do shipping. Weed, ecstasy, heroin, and stuff through UPS, through FedEx, through DHL. Because the thing is, they have a system where like they can't check every package. There's only a few that will be caught throughout the system, but you got to think like how much drugs are just coming in and out 24/7, and they're just mailing it. And it's a new age of technology. I mean, there's no more of that airplane coming in. There's no more of that sea boat coming in. It's just everything's getting mailed through now.
Well, technically there is.
Well, yeah. I mean, there is. I'm not saying there's not. Right. I mean, people are still doing it, but I mean, the way technology is changing is they're just getting smarter and progressing in the new age now compared to back in the days.
Wow, that's interesting. I guess you would want to have your duckies in line. So if I were planning out, okay, I'm gonna make this Silk Road, and okay, let's say the intention is, okay, there's going to be a lot of illegal stuff on it. So how is this stuff going to get delivered? So we're doing logistics now, and it's okay, UPS, FedEx, those are private companies.
Yeah.
And so let's make friends with these companies, and let's find out their infrastructure. How do packages get scanned, this and that? Okay, so when shipping from, let's say, Asia to America, everything has to first enter through this one location on the East Coast of America. So I'm going to become really good buddies with the manager or whatever, the really high honcho over at that branch. And I'm going to, hey, buddy, if you make sure that any of these packages that get sent over here, don't worry about it. You just put it right on through. Here's a kickback. Here's a couple million or whatever.
Here's a handshake.
Just look the other way. Let it go through. It makes it easier for your workers. You guys, it'll be fast and easy. Don't worry about what's in it. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, from there, then I guess at that point, once it's on the truck, then it's on the truck. Then you won't have to really cover like the delivery guys because they don't know what's in it.
Yeah, they don't know because they can't check. The only way like the drugs won't get delivered or whatever they're trying to send is if someone robs a FedEx or UPS truck, on the spot. And then from there on, then the drugs can be missing. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he was actually, I mean, like I said, all the indictment against him and all the evidence. Like, why would you ask a FedEx, if anyone that works in FedEx or UPS or DHL? I mean, because he's trying to figure out, how the system works so he could get around it, or who he can kind of, throw $1 million towards to get the package through, or whatever it is he's trying to do.
Right.
So
damn, I wonder with that type of money, No, because it only happened after it started working. Because you would need the infrastructure. I would say I just make my own shipping company. Silk Road Delivery. Here you are.
I think then
Yeah,
if you make your own delivery, then you're gonna have to go through the federal government. Then they're gonna ask you, "What the hell are you getting all this money to start your own shipping company?"
don't worry about it, baby. I got you covered. Here's a couple $100. Throw it in their face.
$100.
Judge
Make it
Judy.
rain.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Quit asking questions. Why are you so nosy?
How about you? I'll be throwing dollar bills at them. $100 too much, dude.
Oh man. And I wonder if it was ever his intention, because it seemed like, okay, so when he first started off, he was doing all this mechanical engineering, physics and whatnot, and then he switched over to economics, and then he kind of became, I don't know how to describe it, maybe more free-spirited in a sense, or more liberal, because he hated or he didn't like the government at that point, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if if I didn't like the government and I had this whole exporting business of legal stuff, I would play so many pranks on government officials and stuff, where I would send them the biggest package of drugs, to Senator Kelly, and just ship it to his house, and then make sure that I tip off news reporters before it's about to come, that when Senator Kelly walks out to get his morning paper and his Amazon package and this unmarked package, that when they open it, the news reporters are going to be there recording him and look at that bundle of drugs, holy cow. And I'd actually put it even inside of a nice basket, and you know how you get a basket of fruit?
Yeah.
And it has the clear plastic wrapper around it, and this nice little card and bow tie. I do it just like that, but instead it'd be just a bunch of pills and syringes and stuff. Enjoy the fun, Senator Kelly.
Oh man, dude, that would be the funniest shit ever, dude.
Take that, government. Haha. But then Senator Kelly actually did order that. Is what you don't know. Surprise, surprise.
And sucker. He's all inject himself.
Yeah.
Some heroin, take some ecstasy pills, smoke a little bit of weed.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, like I said, I don't want to say names or anything or out there, but I had my kind of share experience with top end doctors and CEOs and all these other people, and they actually do drugs. They do it. And
is that recreational drugs or pharmaceutical drugs? Or?
I mean, I guess more illegal drugs, but I mean, from my point of view, I guess it's you can take drugs as long as you can kind of be safe and be smart about it. It could be really beneficial to you. But if there's a lot of things where you could abuse it too, like regular over-the-counter drug. People could abuse that shit and get really, sick and ill or even die from it.
Mm-hmm.
So
at this point in time, I'd like to say that the Franky N Davis Podcast does not condone drug use. It's just simply an opinion. So
yeah, it's just an opinion. So don't follow what I'm saying, guys. So
yes, we don't condone it.
Yeah. But I mean, for example, if you feel kind of depressed and stuff, and you take maybe, I don't know, just throw it out there, maybe some ecstasy, maybe that might make you feel a little bit better. But if you keep taking ecstasy every single day, then yeah, you're gonna get fucked up. You're gonna ruin your life, and then you're gonna end up in the slums or even die. Mm-hmm. So people could abuse it, but at the same time, people use it for recreation, to pick themselves up, to feel a little bit better. So people that think that top people, doctors and CEOs and stuff, that think they don't take it, but there are people out there that take it for just to feel good, nothing to being a drug dealer or doing anything bad out there. So but yeah, I mean, pretty much. And like I said, the trial was recently just finished, and they're actually gonna be sentencing him on May
this year.
Yeah.
This year. Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, this thing is really recent and pretty current. And like I said, all the jury, everything has already been done. And like I said, they found him guilty of all charges. And in May, they're going to find out exactly how many years he's going to get. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty crazy. I mean, that's pretty much the whole freaking Silk Road. This crazy guy, well, not a crazy guy, actually really smart guy.
kind of crazy sometimes. Sometimes he makes silly decisions.
Yeah, he did make some silly decisions. And I remember this one part, I guess, before, I believe, don't hold me to it, but I think I was reading part of this article where he had his girlfriend, and I think before he made Silk Road, he actually took some drugs, some euphoric drugs, and I'm not sure if you got some kind of enlightenment from it or some kind of thing from it, but I believe that maybe that drug kind of changes opinion into economics. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he became a hippie, is what it was.
Maybe. Never shave your armpit and go all smelly. Peace out, dudes. And you wear some colorful shirts.
Free
and,
love, man.
Again, free hugs, man. Free hugs.
Oh, thanks, dude. Ooh, kind of sour smelling there, but thank you.
I remember this one time. It was
Hugging some sour smelling dude named Davis.
I was at when I was selling beef jerky, right, at the cannabis cup, and this girl, she was pretty fucking hot, like she was pretty cute, and she was like a hippie type of girl, and I guess she was kind of like a lesbian with some other girl.
Oh, tell me more.
That's pretty sexy. And then I was like, hey, you want some beef jerky? Here's some drinks. Here's some candy. Whatever you want, I got it. I was being, just trying to sell them some stuff. And then next thing you know, it's like, yeah, sure. And then next thing you know, when she kind of raised up her arm, you see like nothing but hair under her armpit. I was like, whoa.
Hello.
A little bit too much. Here's some free jerky chips and put your arm down.
They call me Eagle Spirit. Start flapping her arms up and down. Oh, please just leave.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, hippie worlds are pretty cool though. I mean, they chill. They love and peace, but man, they need to do a little bit of grooming though.
I guess one of the last things I want to ask was Silk Road. What does that even mean? Like, is there significance behind the name? I'd imagine, right? That there's a meaning behind it. Do you know? Or?
I actually don't know if there's a meaning behind Silk Road. I remember reading about it a long time ago, but I don't recall actually.
Because like just reading it and thinking, I think silk. Yeah, I think of smooth or soft, and then road. So like a smooth road that you can get illegal stuff off of. I don't know. And then the other thing I think of is Rainbow Road from from Mario Kart. So every time I hear Silk Road, I was dun 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 boop, boop, shooting like turtle shells. Yeah, that sounds awesome. It's like this has nothing to do with Mario Kart. What the hell is this website? So I can buy bazookas here.
But yeah, I mean, I honestly I forgot. I remember I actually should have looked that up. But I forgot what Silk Road meant. I think there was a meaning towards it, but
yeah, whatever. He's a hippie. He probably just came up with something. And I guess like, the other thing too is if you were to choose something to buy from Silk Road, what would you buy?
Oh man, I think I'll buy a lot of stuff from there. I'll buy all freaking some ecstasy, some cocaine, some heroin. No, not heroin, because I heard that's pretty addictive. So I don't want to be addicted to drugs. Like I said, don't call me. I don't want to be labeled as a guy like being a freaking drug user or whatever. I'm more of a guy like can use it once in a blue moon just to enjoy it and just enjoy the scenery and having a good time. Mm-hmm. I'm not those people where like, hey dude, you're taking drugs 24/7, wasting your life away. I'm nothing like that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that do drugs but then use it once in a while, once in a blue moon, just to let themselves go and enjoy it. So but definitely, yeah, like I said, I'll definitely buy cocaine, ecstasy, and weapons. I don't need weapons. My brother has a bunch of weapons. I could just borrow his.
See, what I would want is I want piranhas. I want real ass legit piranhas.
Oh man, now that you kind of mentioned that, I remember when I was...
See, when I was asking you, I was thinking like something cool, right? It was like drugs. It's like, oh, whatever, dude. But dude, I want something cool and crazy illegal. So like, I would say piranhas. I'd get a big ass tank. Yeah. That's just like the black belly piranhas, because I think those are the crazy ones. And then I would buy like, I don't know, just whole chickens, I guess, and throw them in and
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I remember, like I said, back in the days when my uncle used to own piranhas.
Did he?
Yeah, he had like a big fish tank, and he had a bunch of piranhas in there, and he would just like every time he feeds them, he throws some like meat or whatever in there, and you see the piranhas go,
That's
fucking
crazy.
go crazy, like they would just go crazy over the meat, dude. And, like imagine you throw your finger in there, you're fucked, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember going to I think Mandalay Bay. They have like I believe it's Mandalay Bay. They have a aquarium exhibit.
Yeah.
So there's like sharks and stuff, and there's an area where there's piranhas. But it's weird because you can walk by it, and there's like a little stick that they give you, and there's buttons on it and numbers. And when you walk to an exhibit, let's say piranhas is exhibit number 6, you hit number 6, and it goes the piranha located from the Amazon. Like it tells you about it, yeah. So it's like your own little guide stick, but you have full access to putting your hands inside of this water. It's like right there. Like
Really?
if you wanted to, you could just go bloop and put your hands into the water.
Oh my god. Oh.
But I don't know if that's one of the misconceptions of like if you just put your hand in, or if it needs to be water, if there needs to be some sort of fleshy smell to it, like meat, that piranhas will just go completely nuts. Yeah, I'm not gonna test it out. I'm not gonna like put my hand in there like, I don't think they'll bite onto me. But
Yeah. I remember this this video I watched a long time ago. It was on Facebook, and this person would get like a big old piece of chicken, right? Like it hold onto the leg of this chicken.
yeah.
And then it would just put the chicken down into the water, but the other person would have a bucket. And then there was so much piranhas going for the chicken, he'll just lift it up and put the chicken over the bucket afterwards, and
Scoop the piranhas up.
then the piranhas will fall into the bucket. And I was like, dude, they'll get buckets and buckets of fish, and they just eat it afterwards because it's like kind of like a third world country,
Or they sell it on Silk Road to me.
Oh yeah, that's how they make the millions. Silk Road just becomes piranhas only.
Oh man, that'd be sweet. I named this one Chompy.
Oh man. But yeah, definitely that. Yeah, that's pretty much overall the gist of Silk Road and how much where it came from. And this guy is pretty much. I'll keep you guys updated what in May and how long his sentence will be.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing out like all the results and stuff. That'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah, it's crazy, and like I said, dude, this is just recent. Like, man, it's 2015 and all this crazy drug dealing and stuff and weapon trading and child porn and stuff, it's still going on. And you think of like nowadays like, oh, this would never happen, but it just is
Crazy world.
Yep.
All right, Frankie, you ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for everyone listening. I love you guys. We'll come out with more interesting shows. Feel free to comment in our comics section on the website. If there's any stories you guys have, are interested in and that you want us to talk about, feel free to let us know. I'll be happy to look into it and get you some awesome podcasts on it. Okay?
Yeah, and if anyone has any piranhas that they want to sell, give me a call. I'm just kidding. I don't want any piranhas. Okay.
FBI come over with piranha trying to sell you some.
They have piranha guns and they shoot piranhas out of them at me. Like, I want that gun actually now. But once again, thank you to all the listeners out there. And on behalf of Frankie, myself, thank you. Take care. And we'll see you guys next time.
Much love.